Welcome to Which BBQ, the home of outdoor cooking, where we bring you authentic barbecue and outdoor oven reviews, trendy and delicious food recipes, and we give you all the ingredients you need to make your outdoor cooking experience a positive one. So now it's time for you to sit back and chill, and we'll fire up the grill. Now let's get into the star of the show and show you the features of the Landmann Dorado Charcoal BBQ. It's a traditional broiler style grill with cast iron griddle plates. It's got a double skinned hood, which is really interesting because, as we've noticed so far, it allows for really good heat retention and it's holding a consistent temperature once we've got the barbecue hot. We've got the handy side tables which can drop down for storage and be raised while you're cooking. We've got the hooks on the side for putting your utensils and things on. We've got a shelf underneath. We've also got an interesting feature, which is a windable, adjustable charcoal tray. So it raises and lowers to adjust the cooking temperature. So if you want to cook something like a steak, you're going to want quite an intense heat. So you're going to want to raise those coals up and allow it to really sear a nice steak. Or if you want to slow cook something, you'll probably be wanting to drop it almost to the bottom and allow for that slow cooked barbecue flavour with a nice gentle heat. We've also got a raised shelf. So if you're cooking for quite a lot of people and you want to pop your food on the top and keep it warm whilst you're waiting for the rest of it to cook, that's a nice feature again. It's also on wheels. It's quite easily portable, and we've got a ash tray in the bottom when you want to empty out your ash after use. If you're cooking for a long period of time and your coals are starting to get a little bit dying down a little, you can open the door and you can add more coal in whilst you're cooking, which doesn't disturb your cooking experience, and you can keep cooking for a few more people. So, firstly, let's talk about fuel, a really important element to your barbecue experience. There's lots of different types of lumpwood charcoal you can use. There's nothing wrong with going and getting a cheaper supermarket option and a different firelight option. We opt for Big Green Egg natural oak and hickory lumpwood charcoal and a natural firelighter. And the reason for this is the coals burn for longer, there's no nasty stuff in there to taint your food, and it gives you a beautiful barbecue smell, aroma and flavour when cooking, and it holds the heat really well. So we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. Normally we're cooking our own recipes here at Which BBQ and our reviews, but today we've got a guest appearance. So we'll be cooking the premium barbecue box from Chefs for Foodies, which contains Wagyu burgers, created by Chef Ella Kochman. What we're going to do inside the box, we're going to cook the Wagyu burgers, the sausages and the Caribbean chicken kebabs from Lydgate's Butchers. It should take about 40 minutes to do, so let's put it to the test. We've got our barbecue all fired up. We put the coals in for around half an hour, and we've got a beautiful consistent heat on this barbecue now. White hot coals, and we're ready to get going. Before you get started cooking your Chefs for Foodies barbecue box, it's a good point to mention that inside the box there's a QR code that you can scan, and it will take you straight to a page where you can see all the instructions from start to finish, and there's also a video to watch as well for some tips. Right, so let's get started. The first thing to do is the corn on the cob that comes inside the pack. It's already pre-steamed in like a vacuum pack bags, but what you want to do is just pop them individually into foil with a knob of butter and some salt and pepper, and then very easily just wrap them up into little parcels, and then we're going to place them in the corner of the barbecue where it's not too hot, and they're going to tick over while we carry on with the next bit. It's quite a generous amount of corn on the cob in these packs. There's four large ones, so you get one each. So the next thing we're going to do is get the Caribbean chicken kebabs on. We're going to use an avocado oil, and the reason for this is there's many different types of oil you can use, but avocado oil heats to a nice high heat, so we're not going to get a burnt oil on the outside of our food. We've got the coals raised up quite high at the moment because we want to get a nice sear on our meat. And then once we've got everything going, we're going to drop that down. These skewers come pre-done, just like this. All you've got to do is pop them on. So we're really filling up this barbecue now. We've got these fantastic Caribbean chicken skewers. We've got the corn on the cob with the butter in there that's ticking away on the back. We're just going to shut this down for a second, just so we can get all that heat going and get a nice sear on these chicken kebabs. The chicken kebabs have had around 3 or 4 minutes now on one side. So I'm just going to turn them over. As you can see, you're starting to get this really nice caramelization now. And you can really smell those Caribbean flavours coming through. Just drop the lid down again, just for a couple more minutes to get a good seal on it. Right, now the chicken's got a really nice colour on both sides, and the corn on the cob started off really well. So we're going to move the corn on the cobs up, just onto this top shelf. And they'll just carry on ticking over as we get the burgers on. These are Wagyu burgers. Now the difference with this is you've got wonderful little pearls of fat inside the meat. And people often say, you know, I like my burger medium or medium rare. With Wagyu burgers, they need to be cooked all the way through, because otherwise you're going to get these cold, hard pieces of fat. The wonderful thing about this style of burger is they're incredibly moist, even if you cook them for a long time. And it just has this beautiful flavour when you eat them. So make sure that part of the barbecue is really hot, and we're going to get a nice sear on them. Nothing beats the sound of that sizzle when you're cooking on a charcoal barbecue. So we've had the burgers and sausages on for about 15 minutes now. We've got some lovely colour coming up on these Gloucester Old Spot sausages, and there's a beautiful sizzle and pop we're getting. Never prick your sausages, just allow them to cook naturally in their skin. And with the burgers, don't be tempted to keep turning them over or pressing them or any of that business. Just turn them once, caramelise on one side, turn, caramelise on the other. All that natural fat from the Wagyu burgers has dripped down and made the most incredible aroma in this garden now. The corn on the cobs, they're nice and ready. They're all cooked through. The chicken is just keeping warm on the top shelf. It's very handy, as you can see, there's lots of space. You could cook for, I'd say, up to 8 to 10 people on this barbecue if you really wanted to. So now it's time to serve up and bring all this wonderful food together. So we've put the Landmann Dorado Charcoal BBQ through its paces today, and it's safe to say we've really enjoyed cooking on it. But what I didn't enjoy was putting it together. It took us about an hour and a half to get all the parts together. There's quite a lot to this. It's important to allow enough time, because this isn't a barbecue that you'll just be able to set up and go straight away. However, it is worth the time and effort that you put into it. The features that we really liked today were the raising and lowering of the charcoal tray, which allowed us to control our heat. There's enough space in it if you wanted to actually slow cook and smoke a joint of meat, or slow cook a chicken. And we also like the ability, we had this running for a long time, so we were able to add the coal and keep the coals burning and allow us to cook for a longer period of time. That's another feature that we really enjoyed. It's a great barbecue that's got a double skinned hood, which also helped to retain the heat really well. And when you're cooking for a large amount of people, that's what you want. What I would say is this isn't particularly an entry-level barbecue. It's more of an intermediate. It's mid-range, and it's for somebody that's a little bit more enthusiastic about the barbecuing, that's prepared to put the time and effort in to getting a fantastic end result. Hope you've enjoyed another Which Barbecue review today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and head over to whichbarbecue.co.uk for more recipes and how-to guides. Now it's time for a burger and a beer. Cheers.